to our channel. I'm Roma.
And that's a motorbike.
Hi guys, and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, hello, I'm Roma.
And I'm Russell, and today we're going to go exploring the Bermondsey Beer Mile, located here in Bermondsey, London.
The Bermondsey Beer Mile is a little stretch of small independent craft breweries that's a little bit off the standard tourist trail of things to do in London, and it comes alive on a weekend. Despite the name, this collection of tap rooms, microbreweries and small independent businesses is situated under the railway arches of a busy working train line that is actually closer to 2 miles long nowadays after organically growing over the last few years. The best day to do the Bermondsey Beer Mile is on a Saturday when all of the tap rooms are open. However, there is no hard and fast rule of how to tackle it. We would recommend starting at one end and trying to work your way to the other. Some make it, some don't. If you suspect that you won't make it all the way through the mile in one go, try starting at a midway point, somewhere like the Colonel, and working your way in one direction. That way you'll still get loads of the Bermondsey Beer Mile experience and a distinct lack of crowds. For us, I knew trying to bar hop from one brewery to the next was going to be a little ambitious. Instead, we've handpicked a few breweries for you that you might like to stop into along the way. Why Bermondsey? It's not a coincidence that this part of London has become a hive of activities for microbreweries. It's actually a stone's throw from the centre of the city's hop trade, a relic of a bygone era when workers from the docks used to spend their summer holidays hop picking in Kent. The hops were transported to London along Old Kent Road, yes, the very same from Monopoly, and eventually ending up in the Hop Exchange, a building that still stands to this day on the corner of Borough High Street and Southwark Street. We start our Bermondsey Beer Mile at the Colonel, one of the original breweries along the mile, having been in operation for over a decade. The Colonel has a dedicated tap room a few doors down from the brewery at Arch 7, with a dozen or so taps available, offering pales, IPAs, saisons, old school London porters and stouts alongside their 2.8% table beer. The staff were also kind enough to take us on a little tour of the brewery while we were there.
So this is the Colonel Brewery. We've been here on this site in the Spa Terminus for 7 years, but we've been going for 10 years. It was our 10th anniversary in September last year. We're a modern brewery making modern stuff with modern hops and our own styles.
Alright, so here we are at the Colonel. The first beer of choice is the table beer. It's 3%, so you can drink it all day. It's quite fruity, it's quite light, it's very, very good.
My name's Sterling, I'm the head brewer at Affinity Brewery. We are based in South Bermondsey on the Bermondsey Beer Mile. We produce a core range of beers which range from hoppy styles, Belgian saisons, stouts, Belgian pales as well. We've been focusing a little bit more recently on double dry hop beers, so utilising different yeast styles and utilising different hops and experimenting a bit. The beer in my glass is our dry hopped Kolsch. This was lagered in tank for 6 weeks to produce a bit of clarity, to let the yeast calm down, and then was dry hopped with Huel Melon, Hallertau Blanc and Citra. So there's a nice blend of kind of noble varieties, a bit of fruity varieties from Germany with well-known kind of American very juicy varieties like Citra. Our festival, Cask, which was a celebration of all things cask. We had 30 breweries featured, over 120 beers in total over 2 sessions. So it was a real kind of celebration of traditional English beer in the classic way of serving, but melding it with modern breweries and a modern take on a festival.
So here we go for the third brewery on our visit to the Bermondsey Beer Mile. We're going to go check out Brew By Numbers. Now this brewery started in 2011. It was started by 2 guys and has since produced over 350 different types of beers across a variety of different types of styles. So the concept of this brewery is that they use a 4-digit numbering system for their beers. The first 2 digits would denote the style, and then the second 2 digits would actually refer to the recipe. Now let's face it, who's going to remember 4 digits after a few pints? So they've now gone to a 2-digit numbering system for their beers. Let's go check it out, shall we? Someone who doesn't really like stouts traditionally, this is actually really good. It's not bitter, it's actually really smooth, but I guess I'd expect that from a choc orange. Alright, so our next stop on the Bermondsey Beer Mile is Bianca Road. Bianca Road was originally found in Peckham, but has now moved here. The things that you need to know is that it's the newest brewery on the Bermondsey Beer Mile, and there's basically 2 arches for you to sit in. One contains the bar, the other contains the toilets, so pick wisely. Let's go have a beer.
We've got ourselves a couple of half pints because we're trying to pace ourselves today. I've got the LA Bloods, which is kind of hoppy, very light, my kind of beer, and I have no idea what Russ is ordering.
Next up on our beer crawl across the Bermondsey Beer Mile is Cloudwater. So Cloudwater is located just behind me, but you may not notice it because there's no signage. You'll actually have to keep an eye open for the iconic logo located at the back of the bar. This brewery actually started in Manchester and is considered to be one of the finest breweries in all of Manchester. Gee, that is good. Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah.
You don't have to have it.
I wasn't expecting that. That was very good. So if you want to try something a little bit different, then there's London Calling Sweden, which isn't so much a microbrewery, but more so an importer of Swedish beers. So if you want to check out some Swedish beers from Gothenburg, then check out London Calling Sweden. So next up on our brewery list is More Beer Company, which was originally founded in Somerset before moving across to Bristol, just behind Templemead Station, where they stayed for about 4 years, and then in 2018 they relocated to the Bermondsey Beer Mile. Let's go grab a pint.
Likely to be one of the biggest breweries you've seen all day, 4 Pure is easily spotted by the enormous tanks outside the building. There's also 2 stories of seating inside. At the bar, you'll discover 43 taps, where you can get your hands on all year round core favourites and some of their small batch series as well. Are these guys independent? Well, technically no, they have been bought out by the Australian giant Lion. But despite them being no longer independent brewery, they are still worth a visit when you're tackling the Bermondsey Beer Mile.
Alright, so the next brewery on our exploration of the Bermondsey Beer Mile is Ansbach and Hop Day. So this brewery is known for having all of their 9 beers on tap, which are all vegan. So let's go have a taste.
If I can give any advice, it would be do not attempt the Bermondsey Beer Mile on an empty stomach. There are a few places along the mile where you can stop in and sit for food, or do as we did and grab supplies for the road. If you're coming from London Bridge, you could swing by Borough Market, and places like Bread Ahead will have carbs ready to go. Alternatively, you can head to the local haunt and significantly quieter Maltby Street Market.
Welcome to the Little Peddler. It is only open on Saturdays publicly, so we're going to go get some pain au chocolat and see what other sweet treats we can get.
If you're up for a decent sized break between pints, there is a fantastic pie place situated along the mile. It's called the Secret Gold Mine.
Alright, so we stopped by the Secret Gold Mine Kiwi coffee place, but it also does pies, so I have a chicken and mushroom pie coming. One of the highlights was actually seeing something in the corner which caught my eye, which was tomato sauce. I haven't seen tomato sauce in ages. Everywhere here it's always ketchup everywhere you go, but it's tomato sauce, come on. I can't tell you how happy I am to have a chicken and mushroom pie. It has been years, so I'm very excited to have my chicken and mushroom pie with my tomato sauce.
That brings this video to a close. Now it's over to you to tell us which beer you will try on your Bermondsey Beer Mile experience. Is it going to be the Choc Orange from Brew By Numbers, or perhaps the table beer from the Colonel, or maybe something completely different altogether? If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so. Thanks for joining. Until next time, bye bye.
I generally don't have to worry about my face because most of it's covered by this glorious beard.